وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين. Alhamdulillah, we benefited a lot from the very fruitful lectures our brothers delivered. So there is not much to say. I just try to make it very short in a few minutes. Imam Al-Sadiq alayhi salam is one of the most outstanding imams among the 12 imams, even though all are the same. But concerning what he has done to the school, the chance that he had to do, I just give you the tips. Inshallah, you will look at it yourself. In order to understand the importance of what Imam did, first we have to understand what imamat is. What imamat is, what is the function of imam. And in order to understand the function of imam, we have to understand what is the function of the Prophet. Because imamat and imam is nothing except continuation of the Prophet and what the Prophet was about to do. Imams lived something like 250 years or more, a little bit more. They did what if the Prophet was about to live would do. So imamat is nothing except continuation of the Prophet. As the Prophet himself told to Imam Ali alayhi salam, your position to me is like the position of Harun to Musa, means whatever he had, except illa annahu la nabiyya ba'di. You are not a prophet, but you will do the same thing. You're just not a prophet, but the same mission is there. What is the function and what is the mission of the Prophet and all the prophets according to Quran? When we look at Quran in Surah Al-Hadid, we find it in chapter Al-Hadid, verse 25. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا رُسُلَنَا بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ وَأَنزَلْنَا مَعَهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْمِيزَانَ لِيَقُومَ النَّاسُ بِالْقِسْطِ. Allah says, we revealed the manifest signs and guidance and the book and the measurement, everything. Arsalna rusalana, we sent all these things with our prophets. Not one prophet, all the prophets, for one mission. لِيَقُومَ النَّاسُ بِالْقِسْطِ. Then people may establish the justice. Interesting point is that Quran doesn't say لِيَقُومَ الرُّسُلِ. The prophets were not responsible to establish justice. لِيَقُومَ النَّاسُ بِالْقِسْطِ. They have come to help people, to guide people, to teach people, then people, they will do it by their own self. So the mission of all is to have the justice established in society in its perfect manner. And we know that we have multiple hadiths that inshallah when Imam Al-Mahdi alayhi salam reappears, he will establish the justice on the earth in its perfect manner. The mission of the prophets. Every prophet, if we imagine this mission like a building, any prophet who came, he or one or two bricks of this building was put by that prophet. And the last brick will come by Imam Al-Mahdi, then this building is fulfilled and complete. So this is the mission of all prophets. That our prophet also came for this. And our imams, they have come for this. Imam Ali alayhi salam is for justice. Imam Al-Hasan, Imam Al-Sadiq, Imam Al-Mahdi alayhi salam will do it in its perfect manner. So, if this is the roadmap of whole imams and the prophets, then we can find the place of imams in this between. When you look at the imam's life, we see that there are four, we can classify the life of imams in four stages, in four levels. The first stage is the time of Imam Ali alayhi salam before his caliphate, something like 25 years, that Imam is silent. It's a time that Imam should keep silent, because Islam was very fragile at the time. The Prophet's demise was a big shock for the Muslim nation. Ummah has not experienced any difficult condition without the Prophet. And there is the threat of Rome, there is the threat of Persia, there is the internal threats. Those Arab who were there, those who newly accepted Islam, all were threats. It's just to understand what I'm saying, just imagine to settle down Ahlul Radda, those who are Ahlul Radda, those who left Islam after the Prophet. Something like 1,000, some hundreds of companions died, were killed in the battles just to settle down those uprisings. Musaylamatul Kazzab and those people were there, those who claimed to be prophet. There is a narration that one of these followers of Musaylama, when they took them, they said, "You know he's not a prophet." They said, "Yes." They said, "Why then you follow him?" He said, "A fake prophet from my tribe is better than a real prophet from your tribe." In such a condition that people have such mentalities at my tribe, your tribe. Now if Imam Ali is about to raise them, then they say he's not his tribe. Why his tribe? Our tribe must be the success. Like what the debate between Ansar and Muhajirin took place. So in that specific occasion, what is needed is to keep silent, to establish peace, unity, integrity, and imamati. Then when Imam comes, the time of Imam Ali alayhi salam is the second stage. The time of Imam and few months of Imam Al-Hasan alayhi salam to show the true justice, the role model for the whole history. The life of Imam's caliphate is not much long, something like 5 years. But this forms a role model for people in the history forever, for the time of Imam Al-Mahdi alayhi salam. So anyone who comes, they have the role model. Imam Ali alayhi salam was the best role model for humanity. Even though he suffered from many problems, but if anyone else was in that position, would have the same problems. Sometimes this is misinterpreted. They say that Ali was not that much successful. Imam Ali accepted caliphate when nobody was ready to accept it. When they came to Imam rejected. They went to other of those specific figures. Nobody accepted caliphate because they knew how dangerous and how difficult it was. And then the very problems could raise against anyone raised against Imam Ali alayhi salam. But with all these difficulties, Imam showed the true color of justice and the true nature of rulership, like the Prophet among people, for the youth who didn't have the chance to experience the time of the Prophet, to see the Prophet himself. Now they can see that they could smell the justice of the Prophet in Imam Ali alayhi salam. The taste of the Prophet, they could find it with Imam Ali alayhi salam. And the role model for all people who were about to establish justice. Once somebody came to Imam Ali alayhi salam and said, "Those two caliphs used to rule better than you." Imam said, "You know what's the reason? The reason is that they ruled over people like me, and I'm ruling over people like you." This is a very important fact, that if they ruled peacefully because we were there supporting them because of Islam, to strengthen Islam, and now everybody is fighting for his own share. That's the problem. So Imam Ali alayhi salam, a short time of Imam Al-Hasan, a short juncture, as a role model, which is very important for us today. Today we find so many teachings how to rule like in those few years of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Few of them you find it in Nahjul Balagha. And then we have that another era which begins from Imam al-Hasan till the martyrdom of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Struggle to get what was taken away back. And then from Imam al-Hussein's martyrdom to the Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam that we have today is the fourth stage and step of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam going towards justice with a specific approach. And it is at the time of dangers and threats to protect this cause in another form. It was not easy for them, for imams, just easily come and say they all brought and trained 4,000 students. You know, it wasn't easy like us to just invite people to come to university and teach them. There was a time that there was such heavy pressure on imams themselves. And also their followers. Nu'man narrates this, that he says, I was with Jabir ibn Yazid al-Ju'fi, one of the close students of Imam al-Baqir, Imam Al-Sadiq alayhi salam. A letter he received from Imam, and I found him so upset. The day after that, I saw him coming to the street, riding on a piece of wood, you know, like the children. Now they pretend as if they are riding horse, playing. No, great sheikh, scholar. What has happened to him? I couldn't manage it. I couldn't digest what I was seeing. So shocking for me. Why Jabir is behaving this way? Having some bones of sheep around his neck, as if he has lost his mind. And after a while, a command came to the governor of Kufa to kill Jabir ibn Yazid because of his relation with Imam Al-Sadiq alayhi salam. The governor ordered, and they came and said, he was a sheikh, but now he has lost his mind, he's crazy now. Then he said, I found out what he received in the letter from Imam, just to behave this way, not to be killed, not to let Shia without the support in that region. It's not easy, you know, sometimes to be killed is much easier for you of a great reputation to behave like a crazy child, just not to let Shia without the support. So if we just easily say 4,000 students, 4,000 like this, in such conditions, they protected this school this way, and they did their best just to give these noble teachings, the true teachings, the true sunnah of the Prophet, just to protect it. And later what Imam Al-Sadiq alayhi salam initiated, that system and network of representatives everywhere. Now could Shia be in communication through these networks with Imams? And this school was much more likely to stay by these networks which were connected to Imam alayhi salam, then to teach them the true teachings. And then you see different aspects of scholarly fields and arenas to be brought into Imam's classes. Jabir ibn Hayyan, who is known as the founder of, one of the main founders of chemistry, when you look at his sayings in his books, he says, "Allamani Ja'farun al-Sadiq, fahamani Ja'farun al-Sadiq." Imam taught chemistry to him. To somebody else, just look at the book Tawheedul Mufazzal. Imam how explains perfectly and profoundly Tawheed, to find signs of Allah everywhere in your own being. Why your eyebrows are like this? Why your nose is like this? Why your eyes is in this form? Why you have eye lips? Why you have this distance between the eye? very detailed explanation of Tawheed when you find in your own face and in your body. Imam is teaching Mufazzal how to reach to real Tawheed, studying yourself. Man arafa nafsahu faqad arafa rabbah. This is one example. And many other examples that you can find concerning jurisprudence, concerning fiqh, concerning, I don't know, theology, concerning ziyarat, adiyah, whatever. These all great treasuries are all protected by Imam Al-Sadiq alayhi salam by this, in this cause, in the cause to establish justice. And we truly venerate Imam Al-Sadiq alayhi salam if our studying and our teaching all are going through this way. There are those who come and recite Quran and the Hadiths, but they will not end with this. So it's not the true cause. The true cause, and today now, unfortunately, you see that there are so many speaking on behalf of Shia, unfortunately. New voices to come and speak the way that you see, America will be happy, Israel will be happy. They could be. And even they can speak on behalf of Imam Al-Sadiq alayhi salam. But it's not in this cause. Knowing the cause will help you better understand the true nature of people and those who are speaking. Inshallah, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give all of us the chance and tawfiq to be among the real students of Imam Al-Sadiq alayhi salam, and inshallah to go on in this journey. Because of the time, I think it's enough. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.